growing up, we had a car called Claire. Okay. So Claire was a Toyota Tarago. Give me a cheer if you grew up with a Toyota Tarago. Okay, a few povos in, well done. Someone paid for their ticket. So, but we're going with Toyota Tarago, and Claire was she was like a peach exterior, like this peach champagne exterior, beautiful. On the inside, she had like maroon velour, so nice. But all the chairs, because Mum was a single mum with 5 kids, and we didn't look after poor old Claire, so Claire's seats were like torn to buggery, so the springs would dig into our bums, and then the carpet on the ground was so torn up that the metal was exposed, so when the car was on, it would burn our feet. And so Mum, she could have fixed it, she avoided it. Instead, she just she went and got like a big, thick brown blanket and put it on the ground, and it worked fine. It was actually fine. And having Claire in primary school wasn't a big deal. It was actually pretty cool because you could turn her on with a paddle pop stick. Which was great because Mum could never find the keys and I was always ready for a paddle pop. So and having Claire in primary school was fun. We thought it was great. But my mum did this really annoying thing. When we got to high school, she cared about our education. And in primary school, you didn't understand class. You didn't understand it. But in high school, because Mum sent us to these really fancy schools that we had no business being at, Claire was a disaster for us. So, and in high school, all you're just trying to do is just fit in. You're just trying so desperately to fit in. You're like, yeah, I'm not poor. Yeah, I've got a Discman. Left that at home, but so you're trying desperately to fit in, and it doesn't matter, like, it's just the crazy thing, like, it doesn't matter how hard you try, your pour will spill out when you least expect it. I remember being in high school, and I was sitting in Year 7 maths, and this girl behind me went, Bron, do you know you've got nits? I was like, hey, Erin, do you know you're a fuckwit? Got her. Another time I was just walking down the hallway of this very fancy school and this teacher behind me went, Bron Lewis, you have hemmed your dress with a stapler. I'm calling your mother. I said, who do you think did it? Mum didn't have time to hem things. She was a single mum. She hadn't time to do anything, so it killed her when I started netball. Holy shit. I don't know if any of you have seen a netball skirt, but it has around 950,000 pleats. I don't know who designed that, but it wasn't a single mum. So my mum just didn't. So it was like all the other girls had these tiny little skirts around them. And mine just poofed out. Like this, like, mahogany tutu. Like walking over to netball every time, like... They're like, we can hear the poor girl coming. I love netball. In Year 8, we got into the grand finals. Sorry to brag. And we got... Some of you guys probably remember it was Radford versus Darramala. Huge day. Some of you guys probably were there. And it was a huge day for me. And Mum had driven Claire around the corner because she never came to watch me play netball because she was disinterested. And so she just parked around the corner. We never parked down the front. I didn't want anyone to see Claire, so I put her back in the corner. And I jumped out and I ran to the netball courts. And Mum had this moment where she could have just driven away, but instead she thought, probably should go see one game. If I could go back in time and say, don't worry about it. You don't need to do that. I would, but I couldn't. And so my mum got out of the car, and it was a freezing cold Canberra morning. Like, she was not dressed for this moment of spontaneous good parenting. She was not. She was wearing jeans and bed socks and Masua sandals. Remember Masua sandals? They're like the Aldi Birkenstock. There was a couple of variations. You could tell a lot about someone by the type of Masua sandal they chose. There was like either the neutral tan colour. She fucking designed them. Hit a nerve down here. That's never happened at the Masua bit. I'll keep going. She'll be right. Couple of variations. So the tan ones for like, you know, the neutral mum, like the relaxed mum, and then there was like the black ones for the fucking edgy mum, you know. And then there was the bumpy ones for the tough cunt mum, and then there was the smooth ones for the calm mum. My mum had the tan bumpy ones, so it was a really fucking mixed messages there. So she had bed socks, Masua sandals, jeans, and she didn't have a jacket, and it was a freezing cold Canberra morning, and so she was like, oh, I don't know. She went to the back of the car, got the brown blanket out and wrapped herself in it. It had a lollipop on it. And then she walked all the way through the hockey fields towards netball courts, and I could see, I was like, fuck, is that a rabid yeti? Oh! So bad. Then she stood next to this stadium. The stadium was full of these mums with like pop collars and pearls, and they had blonde bobs and like these North Face jackets, and when anyone did something good they'd go, oh. And my mum stood next to the stands because she couldn't fit in there. Blanket was too big. And she just yelled so loudly, like as if she was at like a soccer match in Barcelona. And she didn't know any of the rules or any of the girls' names. So she just yelled things like, come on, netball! And she yelled the whole way through. At one stage, one girl was like, fuck, whose mum is that? I said, it's Erin's. At the end, we won. Huge brag. At the end, we won this game. Oh my God, suck shit, Darren Marlin. We won. It was huge. We all went to the canteen. We got red frogs because the olden days kids were allowed sugar, and we were just like eating them, like loving ourselves sick. And I just noticed in this sea of blonde bobs, there was no more Helen, and I was like, holy shit, where'd she go? I said, where's my mum? And people were like, we don't know. And then I heard Claire the Tarago drive around the corner. No. And parked right there, and everyone looked at it. They all had white four-wheel drives. None of them had a farm. And they all kind of looked over. I looked at this giant Tarago. They were like, is that a horse and carriage without the horse? I was like, oh my, I was so angry at my mum. My mum was sitting in the driver's seat. We were making direct eye contact, so I don't know why she did this. She just went, I don't know why. I think she was just showing off the last thing that worked in the car. I was so angry that she did that. I was like, what are you doing? I was like, my eyes. And then I turned around and I opened the sliding door, and it kept going, and then it fell off. I could not believe it. I was like, oh my God. There was an audible gasp from the rich people. I crawled in to the back row because poor cars have rows. I got to the back row and I just lay on the ground, and I was like, I hope they can't see me. They could see me. There was no door. I saw my two little legs popping out, my giant tutu. They were like, is Bron all right? No, Bron's not all all right? My mum, sitting in the front seat, threw her head back and laughed so loudly. And then she got out of the car and then she waved at everyone. She was like, "Hi, you played well. Oh, hello, yes, yeah." And then she leant down and she picked up this giant door and she put it in the car. And then she leant out the back and went, "You right, Bronnie? That's funny, wasn't it?" I was like, "No, it's not funny, Mum." And then she went, "Bye, see you later." She got back in the car and then we drove home and she laughed the entire way. And I did not take a breath for 25 years. We got home and I thought, there's going to be a negative feeling here. There's going to be a hard feeling. It's going to unravel. Now's the time. In closed doors, she is going to have a bad feeling. But instead, she went to the kitchen, picked up the phone, she called her friend Sue Dalton, and she said, "Sue Dalton, you'll never believe what happened at Netball." The car door fell off! And then I heard Sue Dalton's cackle come through the phone. Now these two manic women laughing at the worst, most traumatic moment of my whole life. I thought, how the fuck did they do that? How did they do that? How did they do that? I even heard Sue Dalton say something like, "Is Bronnie all right?" Goes, "Yeah, probably. No."